Welcome to our first lesson on angles. What we're going to be doing today, we're going to be finding angles on a straight line. We're going to be finding angles at a point, making a circle, and we're going to be finding angles on a right angle triangle. So what we're going to do really quickly is to go back to the basic properties of angles. And the first one is the fact that when you have a straight line, like say for example that, and you got two angles at a point. So for example, this angle here and another one there. Now, what we know is that these two angles will always make 180 degrees. So say for example, if this is 100 degrees, then this is going to be 80 degrees to make 100 degrees. Okay, so the angles on a straight line at a point will always make 180 degrees. So that's the first thing that we need to remember. So if you just summarize that, we can see that on this straight line here, I've got three angles. Sometimes you could have three angles. So this is the straight line at the base here. Okay. Now the first angle is A, the second one is B over there, and the third one is C. Now because they are at a point and they're making a straight line at the bottom here, these three angles would add up to 180. So we say that angles at a point on a straight line add up to 180. So that's the first thing we need to remember. Okay. Now the second thing is that when you have angles at a point, right, making up a circle, they normally add up to 360. Okay, so if you look at these three angles here, these four angles here, I've got angle A, B, C, and D. Now, because they're making a circle at this particular point, they're making up a circle at this particular point, and they normally add up to 360. Okay, so that's something you need to remember. So angles round a point or angle at a point will always add up to 360 degrees. Okay. And then the last one is basically angles at a right angle. Okay, so it says perpendicular lines meet at 90 degrees to form a right angle. Okay, so if you look at this one here, I've got this baseline here and that one there, making up a right angle. Now these two angles A and B, they will have to add up to the 90 degrees because they make up a right angle triangle, a right angle corner there. Okay. Now, so what kind of questions are they going to ask you in the test? They're going to give you a diagram like that, and they're going to ask you to find what angle A is. Okay, there's so many ways you can approach this. The first way I can approach this is to look at this as a straight line at the bottom here, and to see this as 40 degrees, and that as A, and then this one here as 90 degrees. So if you want, you can write 90 degrees here. Okay, so that's basically 90 degrees, so it's easy for you. So then you now say that the 40 degrees, actually it's a good idea to start with the letter, the missing one, so we start with the letter first. So you're going to say that if you have to add A and you have to add 40 degrees and you have to add the 90 together, they will make a straight line, which we know the angles on a straight line normally add up to 180 degrees at a point. So that's the first thing. So when you see that in the test, you will get one take. Now the next thing now you need to do is to simplify the like terms. So here I've got 40 and 90 being the like terms, the numbers, and A is basically on its own. So I've got A there, and I've got 40 plus 90, which is going to be 130. Okay, now that should still give me 180. So you just basically simplifying. Okay, now to find A, we are thinking about a number that if we add to 130, we will get 180. So obviously that's going to be 50, but the way to do that, you normally have to do the opposite. Okay, so starting from this end, you do 180, and then you're basically going to take away 130. Okay, so you go backwards, you're going to take away 130 because you're adding the signs, you're going to take away. So if you do 180, take away 130, you're going to get 50, and that then becomes your A. Okay. Another way of doing it, you can basically just take away 130 both sides to balance the equation. So take away 130 both sides to balance the equation. Okay. So the A is still there. However, the 30 minus 130 is gone. And I've got the equal signs over there. And then the 180 take away 130 is going to be 50. And because they're angles, you put degrees. So A is basically 50 degrees. Okay. So that's one way of doing that. Another way of doing this would be to look at this as a right angle only. So you can ignore this part. You can ignore this part here and just look at it as the 40 and the A. Now the 40 and the A together, they make up a right angle, which will always add up to 90. Okay. And again, taking away 40 both sides, take away 40 both sides, you're gonna end up with A here being equals to 50. Okay, same thing. Now notice that this 40 and this 40 cancels off because this is positive, that's negative, becomes 0. So the answer to that is 50 degrees. Now when they ask you in the test, what is your reasoning? You can say two things. For this one, you can say that for this other method, the one that's on the left hand side, this one, you can basically say that angles on a straight line at a point add up to 180. So that's the reason you can give. Now with this other one, you can say that angles where two perpendicular lines meet, a right angle is formed. So therefore, this A and 40 will add up to what? To 90 degrees, because this line here is perpendicular to that one. Okay, so that's another way you can explain that. Okay, so pause the video and just really quickly try question 1 all the way A all the way to H quickly. Okay, so hope you've tried this. So what I'm gonna do now really quickly, I'm just gonna do question 1E for you and also question G for you. Okay, so starting with that. Now if you look at this one, I've got a point. Now this point here, if you got, I've got two angles, the 30 degrees and another one outside here, this E. Now if you can notice, they make a circle here, so they are angles at a point or angles around a point will always make 360, so I'm gonna start with E. So E plus 33 degrees, which is what they've given you, that's gonna add up to 360. Okay, because they're angles at a point. Now to find E, all you need to do is take away 33 both sides. You do the opposite, so take away 33 both sides. Okay, so E is there. So E is there. This 33 take away 33 is gone, and then this side I've got 360 take away 33 is going to be 327. Okay. So this angle here is 327 degrees. Okay, so that's that. Then the next one here, G. G is the same way. I want you to notice that there are two angles here. There's the 90 degrees here, and there's also this one here. Yeah, this reflex angle here. Now, when you add them together, you're gonna need to get what? 360. So this G, which is what I don't know, if I add the other one, the right angle, the 90 degrees, if I add that together, I'm gonna get 360 because angles at a point or angle around a point. If you take away 90, so you take away 90 from 360, you're going to end up with 270. Okay, so that's how to do that. Now pause the video really quickly again, and if you just want to mark your work quickly using the answers here. So pause the video and try to mark your work really quickly. Okay, hope you've tried them. Right, so again, I want you to pause the video again and try question 2, please. Pause the video and try question 2. Okay, hope you've tried that. So what I'm going to do now really quickly for you, I'm going to try and do question, the last one for you here. Now with the last question, I want you to notice that these two lines here, that line and this other one that's going down, they make up a right angle there. So all these three angles together make 90 degrees. So to start, you can say that the D, if you add 20 degrees, and if you add 30 degrees, if you add those three angles, these three here, you need to end up with 90 because they make what? Right angle there. Now then what you now need to do all the way is now to simplify. So the 20 plus the 30 becomes 50 degrees, and that should still be equal to 90. Now I'm thinking about a number that if I add to 50, I get 90. Obviously that's going to be 40. But to show you working now, you can always do the opposite with base here. So take away 50. That's going to be take away 50. Now subtracting that, I've got D is there. The 50 take away 50 is gone. And then this side I've got 90 take away 50, which is basically going to be 40 degrees. Okay. So that is how to do that. So I'm going to pause the video and really quickly, just quickly mark your work, please. Pause the video and just mark your work. Okay, hope you've tried it. Right, so again, really quickly, I'm going to try question 3. I'm going to try question 3. Pause the video, try question 3 quickly. Okay, right, so hope you tried that. I'm just going to clarify question D for you, this one here. Now, you should notice that this is a straight line still. Even though the angle seems to be upside down, it doesn't really matter. You're going to need to add 35 to the D, to the 55, to the 28, and they must make 180. So form an equation and say, the left-hand side equals to 180, and just solve to find what D is. Okay? So hope you did that. And I'm just going to basically show you the answers quickly so you can mark your work. Okay? So that's the answer to those questions. Okay. Right, so hopefully you've done really well on that. We're gonna stop here. Just to introduce myself to you, if you don't know who I am. I am a teacher, qualified teacher, who does maths and science in a school in the UK. My teaching qualification is from the University of Brighton. That's written over there. I also have Master of Science degree from the University of Reading and Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Nairobi. Okay, so that's basically my profile. I am a full-time teacher in a UK school. I teach full-time, but I also do tutoring. I tutor students face-to-face, but I also do online tutoring via Skype. And if you're interested in that, and if I've got a chance for you, all you need to do is to just send me an email through michael.owino1977@gmail.com, and I can see whether we can do some online. Now, it doesn't matter which country you are in. With online tutoring, it works whether you are in the UK, whether you are outside the UK, whether you're in Africa, whether you are in America. We can always do online tutoring for you to help you with your IGCSE or international IGCSE in maths or anything that we can do. So just send an email and we will see whether you can do that. Regarding face-to-face, I'm oversubscribed at the moment. I can't promise, but if you just send me an email, then I can see whether I have a chance for you. And again, just to say thank you to those who have been sending money to this project. Remember, this project is aimed at making as many videos as possible to help people who are doing their GCSE exam, who are doing their IGCSE exam, or any students who is following British curriculum, whether you are in the UK or you are in Africa or you are in Asia and you're in a British school. Now, these videos are meant for you and they're basically just free. However, because they cost time to make, they cost resources to make them, I would really, really appreciate your donation towards these videos because I really want to make sure that they are just free. I don't want to start charging on them. Okay. Now, you can donate anything. You see, any amount you can donate. You can, whether it's £1 or whether it's £2 that you want to pay monthly or one off, whether it's £5 a month or £5 one off or £10 or anything that you just want to pay. It's up to you. Okay. Now, the way you can pay is basically using this my bank details. So if you're somebody who's paying from abroad, who is maybe benefiting from these videos and you want to pay from abroad, you can do online transfer, or you can pay through your bank, and all you need to do is to provide them with all these details here. My name is Michael Owino. There is official name. If you're in the UK and you want to do online transfer, you can do that with the same details, or you can just basically walk into any NatWest branch in the high street and just deposit there any amount that you want to contribute to this project. Okay. Once you send the money or once you donate it, I really appreciate if you could just send me an email so then I can just say thank you. Okay. So that's just to appreciate those who have been contributing and those who also wish to contribute. So then we continue to do these videos free of charge without charging people, without asking people to subscribe to them. Okay. Thank you so much and well done for that.